Amyloid is one of the key proteins involved in Alzheimer's disease. It's thought that by removing amyloid from the brain, you will slow down the rate of progression of the disease. Now, importantly, it doesn't stop the disease, it doesn't make people better, but it will slow down the rate at which the disease progresses so people remain functional for a longer period of time. The accelerated approval part means that while they're convinced it does what it's supposed to do biologically, they're not convinced of the clinical meaningfulness of that. That is, if you lower amyloid in the brain of a person with Alzheimer's disease, does that make any clinical difference? They're uncertain of that, so they require the sponsor to gather more data. Lecanemab does in fact remove amyloid from the brain, but it may also remove amyloid from the blood vessels in the brain, and this may render them leaky such that people on this drug may develop some swelling in the brain and may develop some bleeding in the brain. This can be monitored by MRI, and usually the side effects have been mild and moderate. It showed that we now may have the ability to actually modify the underlying disease process. Heretofore, we've had symptomatic drugs for Alzheimer's disease, but they do not actually get at the underlying disease process. Drugs like lecanemab now actually alter the disease process itself and will slow down the rate of progression. That's a major step forward. This gives us an opportunity to perhaps add other drugs that may have additive mechanisms of action to actually slow down the disease process even more dramatically.